Hello my friends and welcome back to Inner Wars. It is the second part of Series 4, which features Fallonar against ObLoM. Special thanks to Codes for buying me a drink. I know you're looking forward to this. Perfect. Perfect thing to have when we're going to watch ourselves some PvP action from the Inner Wars community. Right, so, I mean, last time I felt like Fallonar was on the winning path in a big way. And then one of his javelins got its head ripped off. So, let's see what happens next. I could have fast forwarded past this bit, I guess, but never mind. Gives me time. Psych myself up for the fight.
Command interface initiated.
Alright, let's go.
I've got a really good feeling about this.
Ah, there's some heavier metal being deployed this time. We got a dragon. What looks to be a quick draw from behind.
Ready to rock.
Yep.
Waiting on you, Commander.
A locust. And I can't quite see what the other light is because it's hidden.
What can I do for you?
Oh, it's two locusts. Wow, this is a tiny map.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Confirmed.
Okay, I'm not sure why you would sprint
Affirmative, Commander.
rather than jump. That's the quick draw. But, you know, whatever. So, on this map, you have, like,
I read
on
you,
the
Commander.
left of this
Moving
position,
out.
you have, like, a wide open water area. And on the right, you have a relatively bumpy and diverse terrain. This island here, which I suppose the island is kind of in the middle, but the map is a little bit off-centered, so. The quick draw loves the water due to its high heat output. Both between the jump jets and the medium lasers, this thing runs super hot. Dragon 1N, I'm trying to remember what the weapons loadout is for the Dragon 1N.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Dragon's not exactly a,
I hear ya.
Waiting on you, Commander.
not exactly a great piece of kit, let's be honest here. Alright, so it's got an LRM-10,
Consider it done.
an AC-5 and two medium lasers, so it's a medium to long range mech.
Up high. Moving out.
Alright, he's spreading his locusts
On my
around to
way.
scout here. I like the missile locust, but I don't think anyone seems to use it. Okay, they're chatting about the Inner Wars overarching plot, storyline, metagame. It's really cool. It's been done on a website, and you know, there's like an interactive map, and I've seen screenshots of various houses, internal affairs, and what mechs they've got and in which systems. Sworn to secrecy, I am. I really am like Comstar. I'm listening to everybody's transmissions. Now, I'd love to talk about possible strategy and tactics here, but I don't know what the enemy is fielding yet, so I can't really suggest anything. What I do know is that the quick draw is a deadly jumping slash laser bot that runs very hot and likes the water. But the dragon here, and the dragon's loadout is more for mid to long range. Alright, they're all just...
I'll wait here for now.
They're all just kind of there. There they are. All to play for at the moment.
Standing by.
Excuse me. First beer, cider of the afternoon. I don't like clustering all your mechs together in a ball, so I personally say that ObLoM's position is not as good here, but until I know what he's got, I can't really decide as to whether just being sat there in the water is a good idea or not. Well, we've both got
What's
a good
up,
mix of
Commander?
experienced mechs.
What can I do for you?
Okay. Still waiting to see what ObLoM's got here.
Good to go.
So even if you're not very good at PvP, you can take part in Inner Sphere Wars and you can learn. But also, you know,
I hear ya.
the more you play in Inner Sphere Wars, your ELO rating will change, so you will then be assigned more BV to play with against certain opponents. So you can expect
Going turbo.
a fair match or a reasonable match, even if you're not very good. Of course, it also counts on what your house wants to invest in you in terms of resources and gear and such. If you want to get into the details of where the houses are and what they've got left for this season, and the season goes on for like 6 months, I believe, so you've got plenty of time to get in and enjoy it. If you want to know where they all stand, then you need to get on the website or pop into the Discord. Alright, he's got a fourth man behind the rock up there.
They've got a sensor lock on me.
What are the odds that that is a missile mech of some description, or a scout? I'm not sure how I feel about that move.
On my way.
Still, the dragon is a long-range mech, so it does make sense to keep it. Keep it at a distance. Fallonar is on the back foot here slightly, because he has to go first. Alright, the energy blackjack. That loves the water just as much as the quick draw does.
Yup.
That's a good LOS blocker there. I think he can go either way.
You betcha.
Retreating back to his line actually lets him put a sensor lock on that blackjack. I would put a sensor lock on the blackjack, my friend. Yes.
I've got a sensor lock.
Now the quick draw. Hopefully the quick draw is in range to jump and give that guy a laser sandwich. I'm pretty sure that he is. And the jump will give you lots of evasion tokens. Okay, does it have a shot?
They got a lock on me.
It's pointless.
Ready to rock.
It's pointless to lock the quick draw because he's just going to jump. Yes, get him. Yes. I suppose from the high ground, the only problem is that if he wants to follow up, I think you want to be in the water or the high ground.
Lift it off.
The water cools you down and gives you sustain, and the high ground gives you accuracy. I'm not sure I like the forest as a choice here. I would have personally taken the water. Not bad damage though. I mean, obviously he could follow up with all of his mediums, trying to focus fire the quick draw. But from the from the more concealed position in the water further back, I don't think he could really get that great of a focus fire going. You know, if the quick draw is back here in the water, he doesn't really have a shot from back there. I'll wait to see how this unfolds.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Good to go.
Now you see, this is where LRM locusts
Got it.
would be good. Because LRM locusts could have both bombarded that blackjack for 40 each. And that's not bad damage, considering how unbelievably fragile the blackjack is. Plus, all of its weapons are in the arms, and once the arms come off, and they do not have much health, then that's it for the blackjack. It's a non-threat. Now, he could dive on the quick draw here. I do think that quick draw is actually more exposed in this position than it would have been back in the water. Although it wouldn't have had 40% damage mitigation, it would have been behind this cliff that you see here. It would have been hidden away, so he wouldn't have had good LOS. The blackjack would have had good LOS, but nothing else would have. Still, we just have to see how it plays out. Interesting. And the funny part is that if the quick draw was here in the water,
Waiting for orders.
he could have potentially
Holding action, Commander.
he could have potentially jumped after it and turned it into a nasty one-on-one. And the blackjack will not win a one-on-one with a quick draw. If I'm Fallonar here, I want to ignore the enemies on the hill and just run away from them and run after that blackjack and try and gun it down. And he'll be forced to give chase in an aggressive way to save his blackjack.
Waiting for orders.
Yes, Commander. What are your orders, Skipper? Commander? Confirmed.
I'd almost be tempted to just sprint everything. You know my interdiction video? I'd almost be tempted to actually sprint all my units after that blackjack.
On my way. Sensors locked on.
Okay, he's thinking about going after the Enforcer. I don't know how I feel about that. Since the quick draw is not in the water, it can't really alpha like crazy either. And jump at the same time. Alright, he's having a bash. No luck though.
Orders.
Good to go. Don't need to tell me twice.
It's a pair of machine gun laser locusts. Why not sprint after this blackjack with both of them and try and get behind it? Maybe. I'm not going to say that there's no way that the blackjack hits the locusts when they're sprinting, because, you know, things happen, but I actually think ObLoM's in a very uncomfortable split here.
Right here.
Oh, you're not going to do that, are you? I suppose you could, actually. I'm not sure who can get behind you, but the Blackjack could jump behind you next turn.
10-4.
This had better work out for you, my friend.
Engaging target.
Oh, that did not work out at all. "45, 50% shots, all missed." Fallonar needs to be careful here because he might be creating a situation by where his dragon is actually in the same position as the Blackjack, totally isolated.
I've been sensor locked.
Yeah? What can I do you for?
He needs to sprint that dragon behind that rock. Oh, I don't like that move. I feel he's really
Target
exposed.
acquired.
Now the funny part here is, if he had sprinted his two locusts, he could actually backstab the Blackjack this next turn coming. They're both lights, so they're going to go first. These locusts will be like right on top of the Blackjack. If not a backstab, then at least a side attack on the arms.
They got a sensor lock on
I feel like sprinting is something that people
hear
forget
ya.
exists once the battle starts. So you see here, if he'd have sprinted the last
What can I
turn,
do for you?
he would have been right on top of that Blackjack with both units. If he'd have sprinted them. And then he could have been tearing up the Knight with that Blackjack. Machine guns at point blank range. As it stands now, he does not really have a good way of engaging.
Got it.
I'm not sure I really understand that move.
Got a lock.
Or that sensor lock.
I'll wait here for now.
I'm genuinely, I don't understand that move. I feel like that Locust now is incredibly exposed. It could be sensor locked and focus fired. It's not even properly LOS blocked, I don't think. Certainly not from that Enforcer on the hill, anyway. Right. ObLoM's really thinking about this move. Well, I think his move here is to either focus fire the Locust or to move his Enforcer to get the back attack on the quick draw. Oh, nasty!
Armor blow through. Internal damage.
Waiting on you, Commander.
That was some good shooting there. The quick draw could lose quite a lot of weapons here. If Fallonar loses the quick draw too early, then this fight is over. Oh!
I took a hit in the meat.
Oh, that is not good. I said I didn't like that move. And I was right to not like it. It's such a shame because I genuinely think he could have gotten the blackjack, but he made the total, you know, the wrong approach. Needed to sprint after it with the locusts,
My internals are taking a beating.
and I wouldn't have attacked with the quick draw, and I would have actually gone after it one turn earlier.
Uh-huh. Sensors locked on.
Receiving you.
I'm not even sure what the quick draw does now. I guess he can jump in and start targeting the enforcer on the front there.
Gen 4.
I can feel the frustration. I can feel the frustration.
Ready for order.
So I guess the dragon now engages the enforcer.
Position confirmed. Here you go, moron.
Oh, what a headshot! Oh wow, huh. If he headshots the enforcer, it's even. It's a game again. Well, let's see what happens. I must admit though, I don't fancy Falonar's chances. The quick draw is the linchpin of his force, and it's already been partially disabled. Pretty much entirely disabled, to be fair. 3 medium lasers is not that exciting.
I hear you. What can I do for you?
If there's anything my There Are 4 Lights campaign has taught me, it's that sprinting to
Waiting
get
on
a
you,
really
Commander.
good position with lights can be really effective. And the funny part is, the Blackjack's melee attack is garbage, so had he chased down the Blackjack with the 2 locusts, I don't feel like there was very much it could have done.
I hear you.
If it turned around and started meleeing, it's pretty much giving up all hope of
Time to die.
fighting. Say that the locusts go too slowly. They go plenty fast if you sprint them. Oh, I think you're wrong here, Fallonar. I think If you had gone after the blackjack with the 2 locusts, you would have won that fight. No way the blackjack stops you from getting behind it and shooting it in the rear repeatedly. And its melee attack is too poor.
They got a sensor lock on.
I mean, it's good enough, but it wouldn't stop them from constantly shooting it.
Waiting on you, Commander. Standing by.
I don't think the blackjack's rear armor is particularly great either. I think the quick draw is going to end up totally disabled shortly. Alright, looks like the 3rd man is a javelin. I think that's a javelin. Well, the 4th man, I should say. Ouch. I think that's all weapons gone.
Got a weapon out.
No, not quite. Nearly though. The quick draw is reduced to a DFA bot. Oof.
Internal structure damaged.
If the quick draw lives without losing one of its legs, then he might be able to DFA the enforcer and then finish it. This high ground position is benefiting ObLoM here quite a bit for accuracy.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
Okay. Not much longer until this quick draw is dead. As the only real choice with it now is to jump after them and brace.
Yeah?
Still got all his jump jets.
What can I do for you? You betcha.
I'm not sure what the goal is here with the locusts. If you don't have a rear strike, and you're not planning to sensor lock,
Good to go.
then you might as well sprint to get into a good position where you can rear strike. Fire javelin. What on earth is a fire javelin?
Heading out.
Oh. I don't really see the point in that. You might as well have just fired at the other one. At least you had a clean shot.
Orders. Lifting off.
I don't know, maybe the move here would have been to sensor lock the javelin twice. Or sensor lock and attack the javelin with the locusts and then unleash the dragon on it. You know, wherever you can get good damage. Fair fair play to ObLoM. You know, the quick draw is the big threat. He identified the threat. He caused Fallonar to place the quick draw in a very weak position, and he pulled it apart. I think with more aggressive play, with you know, instead of these sort of jumping around, sensor locking, not really getting any damage done, he'd just sprinted everything after the blackjack. The moment it went off to the left, he almost certainly could have pinned it down and pulled it apart. And it represents a huge amount of firepower for ObLoM's lance. It is purely an energy DPS platform. Now he's
Waiting
caught
for orders.
in a sandwich.
I hear ya.
What can I do for you?
You see, his Locust could melee the javelin there.
Something I can do.
He's caught going first, and you don't want to go first. I wouldn't move the dragon first. Why not move the quick draw? Because it can't do anything. There we go.
Waiting on you, Commander.
No, move the quick draw first. It's a good move, but move the quick draw first to make him move one of his units. Unfortunately, what happens now is that he moves the javelin to re-establish its evasion. Later moves are better because the enemy has positioned themselves for the end of the turn. So you move the quick draw to force the enemy to move something, because the quick draw is not going to do anything or achieve anything. So you might as well just move that. I'd be highly surprised if ObLoM doesn't move his javelin now as his next move. Yep. Obvious that would occur.
Yes, Commander.
And now that Locust has been moved, so he knows that he can focus fire on that Locust and it won't be able to go anywhere. It is unfortunate, but I feel like I'm watching a lion eat a gazelle here. Sprinting is a powerful tool for light mechs to get right up in someone's business, and an isolated mech with poor melee is the perfect target. Also, risking the quick draw so much was not a great idea. It has really high DPS, but its armor is not great. It relies on its evasion to actually stay alive. But of course, ObLoM's on the high ground here, so he's getting a rolling accuracy bonus from shooting off the top of this hill. I feel like he wanted to lure Fallonar onto this island and get him from all directions, and he succeeded in doing that. Alright, that was lucky. Although I'm not sure I would have jumped backwards into the water like that, but maybe he's got
Yeah? What can I do you for?
heat problems.
I hear ya. Coordinates received. Got a lock.
I don't know why you don't have a shot. Why sensor lock that? You don't have a shot on him with anything. The best you can do is LRM 10 it. Even at this point in the battle, I feel like it was not too late to sprint the locusts after the blackjack. Try and get behind it and machine gun it to pieces. I mean, it's all well and good noting that that enforcer is just one lucky shot away from death. Oof.
Oh! I'm all out of weapons.
Ready for orders.
That's not a good shot. He's got a direct fire shot on the enforcer that's not moved, and I would take that personally. It's not a great direct
Move
fire
into
shot.
position.
Ah, Federated Suns and their arm-mounted weapons. That's as much of a burden as it is a benefit, though. Man, it's funny watching people play lights, having played so much, spent so much time playing lights myself. And while obviously in multiplayer you're against someone who knows exactly what they're doing, and obviously you don't have precision shot either. The lights really do benefit from
Oh! I'm bleeding, Commander.
from sprinting into
I'm losing
position.
weapon systems.
So what he's going to do here is he's just keeping... ObLoM's just going to keep Fallonar at a distance. While the Dragon is a medium to long range mech in that configuration, the rest of his mechs are all medium range to short range, so you can just pick them all off from distance at his leisure. And maybe this island was not the ideal position to fight against such a mobile force. Ouch!
Good to go.
Alright.
Affirmative. Ugh!
Oh, he hit him in the leg. That's no good. That was unfortunate. But you can see here that 2 locusts would actually inflict stability damage. Shame he hit the leg though. Melee attacks are very good for stripping evasion tokens as well. I'm not sure how I feel
Not
about
looking too good.
really thirstily going after this quick draw. It's got no weapons. I'd be tempted to put the damage output on something that's actually dangerous. Although, obviously the quick draw could DFA. But if it did, it would die. The leg is smashed. And you don't have to kill it on your turn if it kills itself, right? The cicada in the last match. It just lived and lived and lived and lived and wouldn't die. I'm afraid that this battle is gonna close out a lot quicker than that game, and there won't be a miraculous comeback. You know, I actually feel like ObLoM has a much better lance here as well because it's all jump jet enabled. Jump jets on a map that's predominantly water
Yikes! That hit hard!
are just
Commander.
amazing. They're just really good.
Confirmed.
DFA him! DFA him! Don't punch him! DFA him!
10-4.
What else are you gonna do? Wow, you missed on a 95% chance.
Orders.
Damn. If he'd have DFA'd him, I reckon he could have actually DFA'd him in the back. I mean, that could be potentially fatal to a blackjack. I mean, you know, it's a 1 in 100 chance, but it could potentially be fatal. I don't even think the odds are that bad. Quick draw does 150 damage on a DFA. So 150 damage into the back of a blackjack. You'd need to land both feet in the RT. Or maybe the LRT or the RRT. If both feet landed in one section, you could probably rip the whole side off and open up the blackjack for a finish.
Locking in.
Oh,
all
nice hit there.
weapon systems.
Huh. He's getting tunnel vision on potential kills here because it's Inner Sphere Wars and every kill matters. And it kind of looks like it's going to be a 4-0 walkover. The sensor is so touchy. I'm not even sure what you said wrong there. Oh, nice hits.
Waiting for orders.
Running heat critical in the water. You might as well, you're not going to do anything else, are you? You could kill him. If you've got an incredible CT focus fire. Oh, that was a CT hit. You might get the javelin. Maybe. Maybe the dragon can finish the job. I'm not sure what ObLoM needs to think about here. You might as well finish the quick draw and then seek to engage the dragon. He can't leave the quick draw alive because it's now in DFA range, and that's exactly what Fallonar should do with it, is DFA with it. Because it ain't gonna do anything else. Ah, there goes the jump jets. And there goes the mech. I feel like ObLoM is much more willing to be aggressive and to actually really push the limits of his mechs as well. Overheating all the time, jumping all the time, aggressive positioning. I feel like this works out better.
Lock on me.
The interesting fight now is between the Locust and the Javelin. Jumping does not reset your stability, so if he keeps jumping to try and evade, then the Locust will eventually push him over, which would be quite funny to see. Oof. Smoked.
Waiting for orders.
Wow, you're caught in a 4-point vice here. You might be able to maneuver to get a side shot. There we go. There we go. That's good.
Aye, aye.
Of course,
I'm gonna make some tracks.
his enemy is completely jump jet capable. So he can totally dictate the terms of this battle. I wouldn't even risk the javelin. There's no need to. I'm pretty sure that he can make this a 4-0. The dragon's got no mobility, so haha. I didn't expect to win. Where's your courage, man? You should always expect to win. You gotta fight harder. You gotta want it. You had an opportunity, if you're watching this, you had an opportunity to get that blackjack. You really did. With your 2 locusts on its case, you could have harassed it and evasion stripped it. Because a melee from a locust with machine guns strips 2 pips as well as doing damage. Between your 2 locusts and your quick draw, you could have torn that blackjack apart.
Barely hit, Commander.
But you realized the opportunity too late, and you never sprinted the locusts over to pressure the blackjack. You played the locusts really, really defensively. But you can't afford to. Can't afford to just run them around the back until they get picked off. I understand the logic in trying to keep them alive for sensor locking and all that kind of thing. But if an enemy unit peels off by itself, and you've got 2 fast light mechs, then you can just sprint after it, and there's no escape for it. Without allies to protect it.
Damage is minor. Receiving you.
Even if you didn't kill the blackjack, you probably could have gotten some of its weapons, which make a huge difference in a fight like this. If you have to trade 2 locusts for, say, half or all of the weapons on the blackjack, that may not be a bad trade if that's your enemy's biggest source of sustained DPS. Reminds me of the match with the urban mech.
Coordinates received.
And the urban mech was just quietly getting like 100 damage done every turn. And 8 turns later it was still pumping out 50 to 100 damage. Eliminate weapons, not targets. But this seems to be something that everyone does, which I don't quite agree with. And that is that an enemy with no weapons gets focus fired down, potentially over the course of 4 or 5 turns worth of firepower, or 4 or 5 units worth of firepower to finish the job. And I would often just be tempted to ignore an enemy that cannot do any real damage.
Okay. That hurt.
Alright, he's brought the javelin back in. I'm not sure I quite agree with that either, but fair enough. Just in case he turns around and blows it apart, it's only going to take 1 hit. Oh, nasty.
Okay. That was really bad.
ObLoM just really showing off that he is a really good player here and playing really aggressively even to the end, which I can admire that. I don't think he needed to take this level of risk, but whatever. Oh yeah. Oh, that's got to be it. Jump jets are just so good. Seriously. Well, I believe that in defense of Fallonar, I believe that the Draconis Combine, who Fallonar is representing here, have got very few resources left on this planet. So he's just fielding whatever they've got left. So this is part of why he doesn't really have a great lineup of units here. Well, not a fantastic lineup of units, anyway. Fury bar is not maxed out. It will be now.
I'm taking internal damage.
95% Fury.
Ready for orders.
I'm presuming that he wanted to try and CT the Javelin. At least try and CT the Javelin, because it's only got 23 HP.
Yes, Commander.
Yeah, it's not a good chance, but you might get a kill. I wouldn't melee anyway. Well, actually, I might be tempted to. Redact. Redact. Huh. Can't melee it. Bad angle, I guess. That's a bad angle. Just gotta have to take the best shot you possibly can get.
I'm there. Dagger.
Ah, unlucky.
Negative damage.
I don't know, 40% is not a great shot. Yeah, as I said earlier, I don't think ObLoM should have risked the Javelin at all. There was no need to risk it. He did risk it. And that, you know, that matters. God, these two are chatting.
I'm being flanked.
I find it difficult to talk while I'm reading.
All
GG.
units destroyed.
Well, that was a bit brutal and a bit one-sided. You know, I just want to do a little bit of post-battle analysis here. Right, let's go back. Look at this situation here. That's what I'm talking about earlier. Okay, not quite here. Okay, here. This situation here. This is the moment where I feel like Fallonar should have identified that this blackjack, which is isolated, and the most it could jump is basically not out of the water, not into the island. At this moment, he should have positioned the quick draw in the water, facing it and brace it. Or behind this LOS blocker, like angled behind this hill. So next to the quick draw here, you'll see a hill. Just to the left of the quick draw, there's a hill. And positioned in the water with that hill between his quick draw and the enforcers, so they haven't got a good shot. And they'll have to come forward to get one. And to sprint his two locusts, or maybe not this turn, but position his two locusts behind this hill here, ready to go. So that, you know, when this moment comes, in fact this is the moment here, a little bit further along. Okay, so now the blackjack's moved even more, even further. And you just see this positioning here. If this quick draw took a really risky shot in the middle of the pond, and that's not what I would have done. If this quick draw had jumped behind this hill into the water here, and these two locusts had sprinted behind the blackjack, and the blackjack's taken its turn, so he's going to get this turn and then next turn on the blackjack with the locusts. If he had sprinted his two locusts into position and just tanked his quick draw in the water behind the LOS blockers, then the Blackjack is in a really uncomfortable position because it can't jump back towards its allies because that's where the Quick Draw is waiting. And the Quick Draw could then jump behind it and unload an Alpha into its back. It can't jump behind the Quick Draw and get a rear strike because it's slightly too far away, and the Quick Draw has got more jump jets. The Blackjack's only got 4, the Quick Draw has got 6. So the Quick Draw could hold the Blackjack in check at this moment. And he couldn't go anywhere, because if he gets close to the Quick Draw has got greater reach to jump behind it. And by sprinting the 2 Locusts in behind the Blackjack's on a clock then to do something about these Locusts. And it's not really going to do anything about them during this turn, during this here and now, because they'll both be sprinted, so they both have really high evasion, so it's unlikely that the weapon systems on the Blackjack would be able to put one down or do any real damage to it. It could happen, but probably not. And if he melees, he's going to turn to face the Locusts, most likely, and that exposes him up. So I would love to have seen how that played out, but I think that there was a real opportunity here to isolate this Quick Draw, this Blackjack, using the Quick Draw in a braced, behind the rocks, tanked position, and to sprint these 2 Locusts in behind it and just harass it, maybe even kill it. And the Blackjack's rear armor is poor, very poor. So it would only be a couple of turns before real lasting damage would start to get done. And if he does try to move the Blackjack to unite it with his enforcers, then the Quick Draw should be able to jump behind the Blackjack and destroy it, because the Quick Draw's got 6 jump jets and the Blackjack's only got 4. Still, I don't fancy Fallona's chances in this game, because ObLoM here has deployed all jump jet capable mediums, really flexible, and that really allows him to dictate the terrain. And the dragon is a millstone around Fallona's neck because it's slow and cumbersome, and this map is horrendous for a mech that's got no mobility. But anyway, there was an opportunity here to kill a really valuable mech and maybe even get more damage done, and who knows, even win the game, depending on how the chips fall. If he kept his Quick Draw alive and protected him with full health, you know, the Quick Draw is easily more than capable of murdering any one of these mechs in a one-on-one, quite easily. So yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts on the match. I hope you enjoyed the match, and I will see you guys next time.